Padukone, former badminton player and co-founder of Olympic Gold Quest.
I don't know much about data engineering, but I think there is a lot of things common between what sport teaches and which can be incorporated in in the corporate world and vice versa also. I think sportsmen can also learn a lot from the corporates. I know a little bit about data analytics. I know what it is. Can be used in sports as well. It's a very recent phenomenon, at least let's say at least in sports, maybe in the last 5 years. And I think artificial intelligence, AI, is the way forward. From whatever little I know, I think can be used in in different fields. Well, just to give an example, when I started in the 60s, nobody knew about badminton, especially in the southern part of India. So I didn't even have a coach, and there was nothing to help me learn. So that was the background under which I started, when it was not popular. So later on, when I started, representing the state, went for the national championships, I had a coach. But from then to now, maybe in the over 50 years, things have changed drastically. In all sports, especially in badminton, earlier, we used to have a coach only for the sport. Then maybe about 20 years later, we introduced a physical trainer who was also a part of, who would look after the physical training part. Then came the physios, then came sports nutrition, then came sports psychologist. The latest addition is the the video analysis, AI, using the AI or some even otherwise. I think going forward, we will use a lot of the data, and also I think initially we'll start off with, at least in badminton, we'll start off with analyzing the the players' strengths, weaknesses, the opponent's strengths, weaknesses, if there are any similarities, if there are any particular shots they prefer, which they play, to analyze the strengths and weaknesses. So more for analysis. When I started in 1962 in Bangalore, there were only 5 courts, and out of them 3 were marriage halls. So like if there was it was initially basically a marriage hall. If there were no marriage, you could play. So it was not actually a badminton hall. Everything was substandard, cement flooring, low roof. There were girders in between, pillars on the side. Just next to the court. So people have broken many rackets. So from 5 courts this was in 1962 to now, I think I'm told that about 3,000 courts in Bangalore. So shows the popularity of the sport. I think a number of factors. I think we started doing well, internationally. So I think in any country, when the sports people start doing well, at the international level, that sports gains more recognition, becomes more popular. There's fair amount of money. Olympic, if you get Olympic medals, the rewards for the people. So there is aspiration. Then more than anything else, I think a lot of people have started playing now in the last 5 years for fitness. So the amateur players just playing for fitness. They're not looking at in the clubs, in leased halls, in schools, in colleges, because many people don't like to go for a walk. They don't like to go to the gym. But the game of badminton. So without realizing, you are enjoying, at the same time you are working out. Like even a lot of people used to, earlier, maybe 20 years back, people used to play outdoor. Maybe a gate, just outside a gate, like 2 people stand and you can just, compared to, let's say, tennis, which is very difficult. You need a much bigger space. The ball runs off, the rackets are very heavy. So not an easy sport to learn, and takes time. Whereas badminton, any housewife, anybody, can just start learning, and then you just start enjoying. And like I said, as the game grew popular, then I think it became commercially viable for people who had a piece of land to lease, and then build badminton courts and let it out for for people who just want to play for fitness. And like all these apps have come up, videos have come up. So I think there is a tremendous potential for to commercially exploit the popularity of the sport. We've just started using. Actually, we had limitation of funds, so I think we've not used very extensively. I have to admit, but I think in the last 1-2 years, we have installed cameras, and we have just maybe last 6 months we are using a AI-based artificial intelligence company. They're giving us inputs for selected top players. Analyzing the strengths and weaknesses of various players. So we are in the very initial stage, but I think it's just a matter of time